Welcome to Canadian Innovators, the show that celebrates innovation, entrepreneurs, and the Canadian spirit. I'm Ves Sobot. I'm sitting in for Jocelyn Bamford. Every week, we introduce a leader, tell their story, unpack the challenges of doing their craft, and explore ideas for job growth and prosperity. This week, we have someone who has dedicated her life to serving. She's been a city councillor. She's been a member of the provincial parliament. She's been the leader of the provincial New Democrat Party and is now the mayor of Hamilton. And she's asking the electorate for a second term as mayor. Hamilton Mayor Andrea Horwath, thank you so much for joining us today on Canadian Innovators.
It's absolutely my pleasure, Vess, and thank you for inviting me once again to have a conversation with you about very exciting things and the future of Hamilton.
Well, you'll recall the last time we had you on was last year, and you were very bullish on your revitalization plans for Hamilton. And many of those projects now have come to fruition. So I thought it'd be a good idea to sort of close that circle, tell us what's happened, and tell us what you see in the future. But before you do, I want to share something with you. And this is full disclosure for our audience. I'm a Hamiltonian, grew up in Hamilton, went to school and university in Hamilton. I just love Hamilton. And Andrea, what I see right now in Hamilton is a new energy. Just recently, I'm sure you were there and you saw it, and I was there. The McCartney concert was just extraordinary. Never in my life did I think I'd see Paul McCartney in my hometown. Tell me about some of the things that have happened over the last year, and what are your plans for moving forward as well?
So same on, born and raised in Hamilton, went to school here, went to university here. So we have a lot in common in that regard. And yes, I also was at the Paul McCartney concert at TD Coliseum. It was fantastic. And so this is one of the pieces that we had been working on at the city for a little while. The initial kind of partnership that came together was looking to bring in new investment, so there was some work needed to be done around getting the paperwork in order, if you will. And it hit some rough spots, let's just put it that way. So we did get that over the finish line. That investment came in. And now we're seeing, well, if I'm not mistaken, as of last month, there were over 300,000 people in our downtown seeing various shows. I think 40 shows had taken place, and that was as of last month. So I'm sure it's changed already again. So and that's what I think. Actually, when I say last month, we're in May now, so it would have been as of March. So here we go. It's done great things. Of course, there's no silver bullet when it comes to a downtown, but re-energizing that space. It's a state of the art facility now. TD Coliseum is, and the vibrancy that it brings is fantastic. And of course, we've already had in Hamilton, in our downtown, and other parts of our city, really, a really great restaurant scene. It's been thriving, really, but this has only taken it up another notch. The restaurants are busy, the streets are busy. It's wonderful.
The restaurants inside the Coliseum itself are very impressive. I couldn't get over them. I couldn't get over how there didn't seem to be a hitch at that McCartney concert, even though it was one of the first or second concerts in the venue. So kudos to the folks who pulled that off, but kudos to you for having the vision to making that happen. The downtown core has way more activity now. I know another thing on your list is affordable housing, and you've made a significant dent in trying to fix that problem as well as homelessness. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. We know that there's an affordability crisis across the country, really. Hamilton is no exception. And in fact, we see that crisis continue to unfold with, of course, recently our challenges with the geopolitical situation and the conflicts around the world, creating pressure now on gasoline as well as food prices, etc. So we do have a challenge in that regard. In Hamilton, we really didn't have much of a systemic approach, if you will, to look at affordable housing, to look at housing writ large from one end of the housing continuum to the other. But we are a growing city. So even though we're, as you would know, as we both know, an old city, we're also a growing city. So we have some challenges around infrastructure, for example, both on the what we need renewal wise of our old infrastructure, but also new infrastructure to help facilitate housing.
Hold that thought, and we'll pick it up right after the break. We're back with Hamilton Mayor Andrea Horwath. She spent her adult life serving as a councillor, as an MPP, as the leader of the official opposition, as the mayor of Hamilton, as the new Democratic Party leader, and now she wants to be the mayor of Hamilton for a second term. Let me pick up where we left off at the break, and that was you were talking about homelessness and affordable housing, and you had two very salient points that I think you should share with the audience.
Sure, thanks, Bess. I appreciate that, and I'll be brief. The affordable housing piece, we tackled it in a really systemic way. There was really no plan, and now we have something called a housing secretariat. We're heading towards a master plan for housing and affordable housing. So that's the affordable housing side, and we have some over 2,000 units in the pipeline. We've been providing municipal land, etc. Great partnerships there. But we're also trying to work really hard to get those approvals through the process more quickly. That was another big barrier to building housing that I
Cutting the
identified
red
when I
tape,
first got
is
here.
that right?
Cutting the red tape, absolutely. So we've done some really great things. We've got some new processes in place, and we started with pilots. We're scaling them, and really excited about not only the affordable housing side, but how we're going to be facilitating getting shovels in the ground and building more housing writ large in Hamilton. It's pretty exciting.
Oh, very good. I see the evidence everywhere. Very close to a property we own, an affordable housing apartment complex is going up right now on Main Street, and it's really taking great shape. Let me talk about urban renewal and downtown Hamilton today. I do see a lot of cranes in the sky still, even though our economy is suffering a little bit. My favorite building, of course, is that McMaster residence at the corner of King and Bay that has the beautiful cladding on it. That is a residence for students. What other plans do you have going forward?
Well, we've just completed our downtown revitalization strategy, in fact. So, again, these things don't happen without a plan. So, the plan, though, isn't for 10 years. It's like a 10-year strategy, but it's not like in 10 years it'll be finished. We are actually doing things right now to improve our downtown, to improve the experience of you, if you will, of being downtown. And that's everything from, of course, you might know this more police patrols on the streets. The small
Right.
business has been asking for that. A much more uh, constant cleaning of our downtown, street sweepers, garbage removal, all those things. We're now into the spring, and so our flower beds and our beautification is happening. We're also bringing what we call activations to the downtown. So we talked about big events. We just had the Junos, which was fantastic, best Junos ever, apparently. That's how I see it, anyways. I think lots of people do. We invited Canada into Hamilton, which was really, really great. But the other thing that we are doing is activating small kind of business districts, if you will, throughout our downtown with various entertainers and street performers, et cetera, et cetera. Where the patios are going to be getting put in place pretty soon, and so it's just there's a lot of momentum. But you can never take your eye off the ball when it comes to a downtown. You have to keep moving all the time. So we have big strategies that'll take a little bit of time, but we're also getting some things done right now.
I certainly sense the momentum. Last time we spoke, we also talked about tariffs. You had just come off a meeting with a bunch of folks in the United States. This was about a year ago, where you talked steel, aluminum tariffs. Any news on that front? Anything that Hamilton can do in that front to protect our own industry? Of course, we have a lot of steel and aluminum still, even though we're less reliant on that sector now than ever before. Anything that comes to mind?
Well, it would be not the case to say that the steel industry hasn't suffered. Certainly, we have, as you know, we have melting and pouring, particularly ArcelorMittal Dofasco. They've kept everybody employed, but we also have a lot of fabrication, advanced manufacturing, secondary kind of processing, and those some of those companies are suffering. Some of them pivoted to put more of their production in the States. Some of them, had to cut back here. But what we will do, and what we have been doing, is staying in close touch and doing everything we can to support that industry, as well as continue to diversify our economy. Our economy is something like 96% diversified, as per the Conference Board of Canada, and we're just going to continue to bring more jobs to Hamilton.
Is the cargo super hub a part of that plan?
Big part of that plan. We can talk a little bit about it after the break, but yes, we are definitely a super hub for goods movement, writ large. It's an exciting time for us.
Very good. Let's pick that thought up after the break with Andrea Horwath, Mayor of Hamilton. We're back with Hamilton Mayor Andrea Horwath, who has spent her adult life serving as a city councillor, as an MPP, as a leader of the official opposition, the leader of the provincial New Democrat Party, the mayor of Hamilton, and now looking for a second term as the mayor of Hamilton. Andrea, we were talking before the break about the cargo super hub, and also I'd like to talk about the HSR redesign. Can you share a few things with our audience about that?
Sure. Well, one of the things that people need to know about Hamilton is it is a logistics super hub, a cargo super hub. But really, you can get goods in and out of this city very easily. We have a 24-hour airport, so there's no curfew on our airport. So we are the largest by volume in terms of the amount of cargo going through in Canada.
I did not
When
know
when it
that.
comes to
Uh,
when it comes to our airport. But we also have a deep water port, so we have goods coming in and out by ship. We have a great highway system that connects. We have fantastic rail connectivity as well. And in fact, our we just had a container terminal get permission to expand its capacity, because the Canadian Border Service is going to provide service at our port, allowing even more goods to go by container, off and on ships, so in and out. And that's going to make not only a big improvement in terms of the volumes of cargo that we can move through our city, but also it's going to mean more inexpensive ability to move goods in and out as well. So lots of great things happening there. But we also talked about the HSR. We just had an announcement very recently with the confirmation of our LRT
right.
contract being awarded. So our LRT is a spine from McMaster University through the center of our city to Eastgate Square, which is, if people know what that means, it basically goes from one end of the lower city to the other, more or less. And that spine will then enable our Hamilton Street Railway, our bus system, to serve even more parts of our city. And we are hearing that from the business districts in Ancaster, for example, in Waterdown, in Winona. Like those employers in Flamborough, they want more access to transit, so they can get workers in and out of their businesses. And so that's one of the things that we're really excited about. We have a new, what we call a bus barn, but a new facility that's opening very shortly here in the lower city as well. So we'll have one kind of node, if you will, on the mountain, the upper part of our city, and then one also on the lower part of our city, which will also help with our ability to provide more transit.
So is the thinking with the LRT, it'll open up some assets at the HSR to be deployed elsewhere? Is that what the thinking
That's
is?
exactly right. So we're doing our we call it HSR Next, which is an expansion of our system to provide more transit for people. We were one of the first municipalities to get back to. I think we were the first to get back to our pre-COVID ridership once we got our system back up and running. So we're serious about transit, and we know how important it is. It moves people to their appointments, to school, to work, to friends, to shopping. It helps you really to travel the city with ease.
Well, it's extraordinary that it goes from Eastgate to McMaster. That essentially does transverse all of Hamilton. And
It
that
it does.
connects
And
so many
you know what else
businesses.
Do you know what else we get from that, Vest? We get a whole bunch of underground infrastructure, water. We right now we
Yes.
have a combined sewer and water system that's going to be separated, thank goodness. But our water and sewer system, all those pipes, our conduits for all of the fiber and the electricity and everything is going to be upgraded to the tune of a couple $100 million that we would have had to have on the property taxpayer, but that's going to be covered by that contract, by that work with the
What an
LRT. It's
excellent
really
opportunity. You can change up the water mains, you can improve the sewer system, you can improve the environment essentially by doing that, all under the LRT umbrella. I think that is quite brilliant, and it'll serve Hamilton not for the next 10 years to come, but for the next 100 years to come, quite frankly, because that's long life infrastructure that
that's
should last 100 years.
That's exactly right. It's a city building project. It's a generational project, and it's something that's the thing you got to do. You got to look at what we need today, but you also have to project into the future how to build your city for the next generations.
Well, hats off. I think it's going to give Hamilton quite the advantage moving forward. Let's hold that thought. We'll come back right after the break with our last question of Andrea Horwath, Mayor of Hamilton. We're back with Hamilton Mayor Andrea Horwath, who spent her life dedicated to serving as a city councillor, as an MPP, as the leader of the official opposition, and the leader of the New Democratic Party in Ontario, and now as Mayor of Hamilton. Andrea, this is my favorite question, and normally it's termed as if you're Prime Minister for a day, what 3 things would you do to unleash the economic prowess of Canada? But I think in this case, we have something much more pertinent. If you were mayor for another term, what do you see in the future? What do you want to do in that second term to make Hamilton even a better place? The floor is yours.
Well, thanks, Vess. I appreciate that. We have a lot of momentum happening in Hamilton, but we can't take the foot off the gas, right? We have to keep pushing forward. And so I don't want to lose that momentum. And that's why I decided to put my hat in the ring again, because we've built a lot of great partnerships. There's a lot of collaboration that's happening. I've got a lot of great networks and connections, not only with the business community here in Hamilton, which I've been honing over these last 4 years, right? But also with the other orders of government. You talked about my history. But that history exists. It exists, but it's also very helpful for today and for the future because I know a lot of the folks at Queen's Park. I know a lot of the folks on Parliament Hill, and both elected and not, and they've been very, very generous with their time and able to help when I give them a call to say this project is stalling or we need your help with this or can you help me save this company. These are the kinds of conversations I have regularly. We need investment in our infrastructure. Here's what we need. Can you please be at the table for that? And so whether it's housing, whether it's LRT, whether it's any of these bigger picture pieces, we have to keep pushing forward. I would also say that we've got great opportunity in a couple of sectors of our economy. I talked a little bit about goods movement. We need to continue to push that forward, but we also have some real opportunity with the life sciences sector. We're diversifying in that regard. Radio pharmaceuticals. We have literally the only nuclear reactor on a university campus in the entire country, and there's very few actually in on the continent. But certainly that's one of our advantages. So continuing to diversify the economy, the housing piece absolutely needs to be continue to be pushed forward, but we also have some internal challenges here at the city. I've been working on trying to fix some of the challenges that we have on processes, how we get things done, how we interface with community. I often say it was kind of like a land that time forgot when I got here, and I mean, uh, in a terrible way, we had the cybersecurity attack, which people may recall just 2 years ago. One of the silver linings of that nightmare, though, was that it's forced us to actually pick up the pace, if you will, in terms of our technological capacity here and
And
the way that
Andrea,
we do.
it wasn't exclusive to your sector. It also hit a whole bunch of private companies in Hamilton as well. So this isn't just a governmental problem. And
No, you're right.
it
You're
sounds
right.
like
But these these threat actors are out there still, and
Mhm.
so we are really pumping up. We're kind of future proofing, if you will. So we're not
Right.
just kind of going to the standard that many municipalities have. We're actually pushing forward a little bit more specifically for the future, because that's what Hamiltonians deserve. We have something new called my.hamilton.ca. So for me, a big piece of all of that is the customer service piece for
Right.
businesses and for residents. We need to get better at providing customer service and providing transparency around that customer service. So our tech changes are going to help with that as well.
That's interesting. Efficiency in every sector is absolutely mandatory at all times, not just government. So obviously, you're trying to implement as many efficiencies as you can in the city. The private sector tries to do that all the time, is absolutely essential for competitiveness. But it's something that has to be on the goals objective all the time, and it sounds like it's
Yeah, and it's
sounds
hard to
like it's
move a
on
big
your list.
organization.
Yeah,
It's hard to move a
yeah.
big organization, and so with the current city manager that I put in place, and she's building a great team, and so we want to. That's why I say the momentum has to stay. We have to keep momentum going. Some of that's internal organizationally, and I want to see that through.
I wish we had more time. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with our audience, and we wish you all the best in the upcoming election. Thank you again, Mayor Horwath.
Thank you, Ves. My pleasure.
Thank you for watching Canadian Innovators. Have an interview idea and a great guest? Please send it our way, ideas at thenewsforum.ca, and maybe we'll see you on the show. I'm Ves Sobot.